What up, guys? This is a video for Jim, just because I don't want any mistakes, because it's nice a bit tricky just to put back together. So some of you guys might watch this and it might be helpful to you too, but this is specifically for a person. So if you don't want to see assembly of a ZT350, don't watch. But if I mess up during this, sometimes you hit little bumps along the way. Just I've done it a million times, but there's always some shit that just doesn't fit sometimes. So anyway, first thing you want to do is, you got the scale or the frame with the cutout in it, and you get the scale with the cutout in it, and you want to lube those up. I'm using this Winchester 3-in-1 gun stuff, because they had some heavy duty stuff in here when I opened it, so I don't even think it's really that necessary, but whatever. So you drop the tension spring or pin in like this, so the prongs are facing outward, and basically just get it in this slit here, this slit right here, and in the U shape here. It doesn't matter where it is in here, just as long as it's in there. So then on this side, take this guy, smack it on top there. This is like a bolt shape, so I can't make a bolt shape with a drill, or whatever when I'm getting out the holes for the countersinking. So I just make the hole a bit smaller than this, enough to where you can actually you gotta like tap it in a little bit. So when I tap it in though, I'm just gonna use something that's padded on top of it, but because I don't want to scratch the bolt and whatnot. Let me just get that off camera real quick. Where the hell's my hammer? There's good. Yeah, it's already in, and just making sure. So you got that. This guy's real tight on here with this. So alright, so you got that guy on there. And you want to assemble, put the knife onto the non-spring side, and you take the bigger washer over here. Always lube. So you take those. Well, actually, you don't put that on yet, but you can. Well, I wouldn't. So then you got these little bitches here, which are a pain in the ass. They're about the size of nothing. So you put these. See, there's like. It's kind of like a mushroom shape. You want the stem of the mushroom to go in first, and when you try to do that, sometimes they'll flip over on you. Actually, they always flip over on you pretty much. So you get that in there, and I get something like this. It's just kind of flat on the end of it, and just tap it in so it's nice and tight. Get all the corners and stuff. And I mean, you might think that you only have to do this with the custom scales, but actually it's the same thing with the regular scales. It's just such a tight tolerance in there. I guess that's why they call it zero tolerance, maybe. But if you don't get it in this to the point where it's not just jiggling around, then when you go to screw it in, it's not going to catch anything. It's just going to pop them out on the other side. Oh wow. Being a pain in the ass, of course. Whatever. We'll get to that when I get to it. So try to get these in here the best you can. I think I need something a little bit smaller to push that in. Well, you get the idea. If they fall out, they fall out. I won't assemble it completely. So, alright, once those are in, if you get them in, you gotta get them in there so they stay. But it's a bitch sometimes. Sometimes you can get them in there and sometimes you can't. So anyway, so on the lock bar side, put the blade in, put the small bushing in there. Add some some zoom spout. Then you take this side here, and what I do here is I will put the 3 screws in. And dude, if you know how to do this and you're just asking me if you would have a problem, I'm sorry. I don't think you're incapable or anything. I'm just making this just in case, just because I don't want any to think, you know, have any trouble or whatever. So make sure those are in all the way. And then I take the back spacer and you know, pump them through the holes. And you see the little spring bar right there, right here. You want to put that through that little slit. So it starts to become a juggle pretty soon. So alright, so I got that on there. And maybe you want to put that in that place first and then put the screws in. Sorry, I'm screwing up because I'm doing this on camera. Alright, so these are in. And basically you want to turn it so the back side's facing you, you know, so you can look down in there. And this is the pain in the ass part. So there's a little hole right next to the pivot hole, and that's for the spring. It's not hard to do. The spring doesn't move or anything, or it moves around freely, and it pretty much, you know, it doesn't matter. It's actually pretty easy for a spring mechanism. So basically just line up these screws with the holes down here. I'm trying to get this on camera right and also do it. And I don't know, I like to get down to the level where I can see everything, and put in the pin first inside the blade. Just kind of line it up there and just lay the rest of the knife on the holes. There you go. See there? Hey, you want to push these in lightly because they will push the bolts out of the other side right away, which they probably already have, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, so the bolts are out pretty much on the other side, but you know, you got to work them in there. I just didn't want to sit here and do it on camera. So then just put in the pivot screw. I like to tighten it all the way first, and then see if I can get these in here real quick before either run out of time or look like a total noob. I've done this a million times already. Sometimes I even, you know, I even say maybe you could shove like something really tiny in there, like just like an X-Acto blade, like right in the side here against the wall of the G10 and the bolt, and then with the other side, you know, screw it in so it just keeps it from moving. I don't know, it's a good design, but at the same time it's a pain in the ass for the user to do. So yeah, I got this one in. So that guy's in there. This guy fell out. Yeah, the Skyline's exactly the same. If you ever lose any of these things, just buy a Kershaw Skyline. They're pretty cheap, and they got basically most of the replacement parts. Alright, so got that guy in. Surprisingly, this one hasn't fallen out yet. So, sorry, I'm using my thumb actually. It's sort of working out, not really. You bastard. Yeah, this is the only part that's a pain, is just keeping these bolts in the one side. And maybe get some kind of something sticky, maybe to glue it in there that won't keep it in there for good. Alright, now we got this one in too. Well, fuck you. Yeah, this is the only trouble you're gonna have, pretty much. The knife is relatively easy to put together, but that's it. Alright, well, we'll just pretend that's in. I just don't want to sit here and try to tap it in and waste all your time here. But yeah, basically that's it. You know, it's nice and centered. And you know, flips out. If it doesn't flip open, pivot might be too tight. Or yeah, pivot's a little bit tight. So just give it a little tiny bit of a turn. Yeah, now it's whipping open. the speed state style. So there you go. Another tip here, mostly when you want thicker handles, the pocket clip holes won't engage the frame lock because the screws just aren't long enough, and you don't want to ruin the scales and make them look like crap. But what I do is, the G10 is pretty damn rugged, pretty damn tough stuff. I actually you know, screw it directly into the G10 just with smaller holes in the actual screws, and that will never come out. The only problem with it is if you take it off a lot and put it back in, you know, G10 is not metal or steel, so you know, it'll wear away. But you know, so just, you know, don't be you know, taking the pocket clip out all the time. But yeah, that's your black ZT for your pops, I guess. And the second set of scales here, just put these in a safe spot. Got the second set of scales here in orange with your back spacer. So, looking pimp. But yeah, hopefully, hopefully besides getting these bad boys in, maybe I'll try to modify this somehow before I send them off to you, just to improve on the existing design. That, you know, this isn't because of my customization. It's just the same thing with the regular scales, but it's a lot shallower, so it's a little bit easier to hold on to stuff. That's why it's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, black G10 ZT. And yeah, I hope that video helped you. And later, guys.